Hello everyone, my name is Sark and welcome back to another SH Figuarts review. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the premium Bandai exclusive KRILLIN from the Namek Saga, the Battle Clothes version from, of course, the Namek Saga. Now, this guy is very notorious for being complete and utter garbage, and I have seen the reviews on him. He has released, it's been like almost 2 years since he released, and there's been no reissue, but I found this guy at my local disc replay, second one at the time. So might as well get him for my own collection and see how he looks. Alright, so here we have the Kriller, the Krill Master. So I can definitely see why people hated this figure. This is probably in the contender for top 10 worst SH Figuarts, not gonna lie. Can you shut up, Arm? Please. Aesthetically, he looks fine. He is definitely off proportions, to say the least. I have my full power Super Saiyan Goku right here. So just to put him to scale, he has a pretty huge head. So there is that. He is pretty out of whack, but this is before Tamashii really got the hang of like actual small sculpts for the body, and then the only ones that they really had was the Kid Goku and the Gohan that released alongside him as well. So do I really blame them for not doing the greatest job with this KRILLIN? Yes and no, because they're a multi-million-dollar company that can definitely do a lot better. But at the same time, I can't justify anything for them. Never mind, he's ass. But yeah, aesthetically, he is okay. Again, he has trouble standing. That's all I'm gonna say. And if a figure has trouble standing, that's gonna be an issue. So again, overall, very nice finish throughout the entire body. Very matte all throughout. Matte finish on the actual clothing, the shoulder pads, and the leg parts. And a glossy finish for the actual Saiyan armor, or the Frieza armor, which is honestly not bad whatsoever. You can see right here, he is the original one, of course, if you can focus. Right here, Vietnam, four little balls. That's how you know that your figure is legit. So there's that. You can see I'm like, come on, stand up. And there you go. Have to balance them. Have to be a little bit off-putting. I'll just put up the head like that. So again, in terms of proportions, he definitely is offhand and everything. That's how the KRILLIN, the newer one, Strongest Earthling or something like that, is definitely one of the best figures out there. Well, this one is one of the worst. So let me show you why he's also one of the worst. Articulation. This guy has almost barely any functionable articulation. So for the head, he can look down about that far, look forward about that far. That is non-existent. This is useless for a figure like this. Yes, he doesn't have that much of a neck. That's an issue. You can definitely push his head upward a little bit if you wanted to. That way you can get a little bit of better range, but at the same time you're going to have a giant gap on the back, and that's not how he looks. So there's that. You can look side to side pretty easily. It's a ball hinge inside, so can't really say anything about that because it's the usual tactics. Hinge, shoulder pads, which allow him to get a pretty decent T-pose. My joints are a little bit tight, so I'm gonna probably have to put some shock oil on them. That way he is not complete. Well, actually, I think leaving him tight might be better, because I don't want this guy to be completely loose and fall over every single time. Actually, let me put some shock oil on that shoulder real quick. Alright, so I was actually able to fix the issue with the shoulder. It's a little squeaky right now, but it'll probably settle as I actually move it along, move it and loosen it as time goes on. It's a little bit sort of like shiny because of the actual oil. Don't worry. Again, I'll probably put this guy under some warm water so those joints are not completely stiff and tight. But yeah, he can rotate 360 degrees. Again, a little bit tighter than I would like. I would probably put some shock oil. If you have this figure or you're planning on getting this figure, which I don't know, you might already have it and you're afraid of actually using it. Again, I recommend shock oil, 30 WT, 300 CST. You'll find it. Traxxas, I think that's the actual brand, is high performance shock oil that's used on RC cars. RC cars are mostly used with plastic. Pretty reliable. It's been helpful, super for a lot of different figures. SH Monster Arts to SH Figuarts, Figma, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, there's that. So I'll probably just put some shock oil right inside of that shoulder joint, just to loosen it up and have it be more postable, hopefully. He does have butterfly joints, which are kind of weird, not gonna lie, because you have to pull out the actual flaps. And it looks like this. It looks ugly. Yes, it does look ugly. Again, could they have done something better? Perhaps, but I think for a figure this size, it's fine. Bicep swivel, of course. Oh, that's tight. Everything in this figure is tight. Holy shit. Apologies for my French, but Jesus. Okay. Single jointed elbow, which doesn't work that well for this guy. I think a double jointed elbow would have been more than sufficient. Swivel on the forearm, and a barely functionable hand wrist. Actually, no, it works pretty decently. A functionable hinge wrist for this guy. Literally no torso articulation, no back articulation. You can't pull it, you can't crunch it, nothing. So yeah, swivel on the wrist, on the waist, flaps on the side, kicks about that far forward, kicks about that far backwards, which is probably the only best thing about him. Splits, not the greatest looking, not gonna lie. Yeah, he about gets them about there. That could happen. So again, do be careful with your figures as you're handling them. You never know what might happen. Double jointed knees, they look a little weird. They look like Legos. And the worst feet known to mankind, the Vegeta feet. Hinge, horrible. That is a horrible toe hinge. What the hell? So yeah, this guy overall, he has no redeeming qualities in terms of aesthetic or articulation. This thing is stuck. There you go. Okay. So no redeeming qualities. Will he be redeemable in the accessory section? Perhaps. So let's just take a look at those real quick. Alright, so as you can see, he has bowling balls for his head. So his head is gigantic. It's literally bigger than Dragon Ball. Holy hell. So this guy does come with 4 different head sculpts. He comes with a neutral head sculpt. Again, these are like... Jesus Christ. You can kill a man with this one. A regular head sculpt, a neutral head sculpt, a sort of teeth gritting face sculpt, head sculpt, a attacking or getting hit in the balls or something head sculpt. I don't know. He looks weird here. And then of course the one where he's being imploded inside by Frieza, with all the water and like the sweat droplets and everything like that. Of course, we have the opaque Dragon Ball that looks like it's glowing instead of the translucent one. I still love the translucent one a lot more, but so be it. We do have a sort of different chest plate. It's supposed to be a second one that you're supposed to be able to swap out. Look at this. So if I do it correctly, maybe, yeah. So if I'm able to do this, so that there's like literally no difference. Is one of them supposed to be battle damaged? That's what I'm guessing. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. One of them is actually smaller. Interesting. Let's try this out right on camera. So this is supposed to be an interchangeable chest plate that theoretically should give you better range. But again, it kind of doesn't at the same time. I think that's what I'm going to leave it with. I think with this one, they didn't need to include it. Is that what it's supposed to do? It's supposed to give you extra articulation from the looks of it. Yeah, it doesn't say anything. Okay. So this is a smaller chest plate. It doesn't go all the way into the armor, so I'm probably going to switch it back. You'll probably... Okay, good. They can snap off. Great. So you can just pop that right back on if you wanted to. But yeah, I think I'm just going to switch it back because I do not like this look for KRILLIN. There we go. Again, it's just getting your nail under it, putting it on, and then switching it back for a more screen accurate look if you wanted to put it that way. That way it actually connects to the shoulder pads. So yeah, there's that. There's more battle damage on the back, so you can sort of take off the torso, if I'm guessing correctly. Wait. I popped the leg out again. Damn it! Let's see. Okay. I've got it out. Don't know how far it's meant to go out, but it's meant to go. Wait, where's it supposed to go? Oh, okay, I see. Okay, so you pop out the front part right here, and then you put in this one right here. That means that he got impaled by second form Frieza. Please, Dragon Ball, stay put. Be with your bowling ball brothers right here. Actually, you can definitely extend them. I think I'm gonna stop the ratcheting there. That does not sound good whatsoever. Where do I take it off? Like that. Okay, great. So you can just swap it back in. And then, there you go. Now you have an impaled KRILLIN. So you have the battle damage KRILLIN. This is nice. I like it when they include this for figures. I don't think it's a bad thing. I actually encourage it. We want more accessories for our figures. This is one way of doing it, especially if there is like swappable parts for the armor and whatnot. So yeah. Now you can stay there. Hands. We have two holding hands, of course. Two sort of like extended hands, or ki blast shooting hands, solar flare hands, and of course two karate chop hands if you wanted to use those. So this video is quite long for just a figure like this. Going into my final thoughts, this figure is middle of the road. I'm gonna give this figure, it's not as bad as Trunks. No, it is as bad. It is not as good as the GT Trunks that I reviewed a couple of days ago. But this figure, I think it's worse than, I think it's worse than King Cold. I'm gonna give this figure a 4 out of 10. And the reason for this, while he has pretty decent accessories, I think the accessories do like hold up his stance as being a reputable figure, but he has 0 to no ab crunch. The shoulder pads work like hell. Well, granted, this was before they changed the shoulder pad design and everything like that. The butterfly joints look ugly. The head is way too freaking big. The head is gigantic. It was not that big when it was like airing in the actual anime or even in the manga. And he is completely out of scale too. He is not meant to be that sort of bulky character. So yeah, I think a 4. I think a 4 is more than enough. And right now in the secondhand market, you won't find them for like less than $70, which is a little bit too much of an asking price for it right now. I think this figure is worth $50. Granted, it is a premium Bandai exclusive, so you're definitely not going to find them for anything cheap unless you have a sucker that doesn't know what the prices of figures are, or a mother is selling their kids toys, and that said kid is 23 living in the basement. But yeah, no jabs towards anyone. I love all my viewers equally, by the way. But yeah, I think that's the lowest score I've given to any SH Figuarts. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. That's all the time I have for you guys today. And technically, I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.